The fourth and final fixture of your SFL Super Saturday here in Week 14 set to kick off at Renegade Nation Stadium in Oklahoma City. The Renegades trying to play spoil to a surging Denver Nightwings side here, trying to further themselves up the standings in season 25. Alongside me in co-commentary this evening is none other than Anthony Ellison. And in stats this evening, we've got the Scorpion King, Eddie Gage, and the ever-present Ron Haynes. Ant, good to be back with you again. What are your keys to this fixture we've got tonight?
It's that typical, spoiler team. And, Oklahoma's coming in here, sitting at the bottom of the division, but they want to spoil it and give it a hard time for Denver to do well in the Central Division. It's a rivalry matchup. They're going to play tough to the very end, so this is going to be very exciting.
Just working to get the game picture with you as we speak. This game has been played out before, obviously several times before Oklahoma City's return to the SFL in season 24. They'll be looking to bounce back from a 54-10 loss last season back at Denver's stadium. But prior to that, this game was last played in season 11. Denver won that one. Oklahoma City's last win against the Nightwings was all the way back in season 9. We're looking to change that script tonight, as again the Nightwings sit comfortably at 6-3. They're in a good vein of form. Oklahoma City trying to extend on 2 wins, and improvement already from their season 24 campaign. Oklahoma City have lost their last 4, so trying to snap a losing streak. Denver, meanwhile, have won 4 of their last 5, including that thrilling Monday night spectacular last week at Minnesota. That's a huge win for them as they continue to post their stake trying to claim the Central Division in season 25. They currently sit as the favourites to take it out. And they'll have opening honours here on the road. No return from the back of the end zone. We'll introduce the Denver offense for head coach Michael Goodman, led out by quarterback Trellis Blanton, Jeremy Mosley, and Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Your running backs, Ari Mills, the veteran fullback, Dylan Lewis, Jay Viper, Michael Goodman, and Logan Keel are your wide receivers. Rookie Mike Kleinecht is the tight end. Gene Benazzi, Kira Cool, Marcella Martin, and D'Angelo DeJesus are the offensive linemen for the Nightwings. Opening play of the game, starting from the 20-yard line. It'll be a handoff to the outside, gain of about 3 there. Opening touch for Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Again, it's his 9th season in the SFL, and it's has been as good as everyone else. The uber consistent BO30. Mosley checks back in. He himself a 12-season veteran, so an uber experienced backfield for this Nightwing side. He'll get the carry to the left-hand side, trying to bounce it. Got a block up front. Got the 6.5 of the 7 required with 3rd down and short.
And coming in with 737 yards for the season, that's 3rd in the league. Denver wants to control the game, and they're going to do it by running the football, and O'Shaughnessy is the main running back right there to do it.
O'Shaughnessy behind Mills. Handoff behind, got the 1st down and then some. Oklahoma City got some early pressure there, but it collapsed, and the Denver Nightwings will claim an opening 1st down.
And Mills is your traditional fullback that's going to lead up and make those blocks. So if that offensive line gives you the opening, Mills is going to go out there to that linebacker and going to give O'Shaughnessy the running room.
Mosley checks back in. He's blown up for a loss of 1. Good start there, a good response rather, from the Oklahoma City defense here for head coach Brady Clark. Shin Yaneda, Harrison Gilgore, and Frank Doom on the defensive line. Sabo Cannon and Aaron Gooden, the 2 linebackers. The secondary, Thomas Rahman Jr., Brady Clark, and Thomas Sen Rahman at the strong safety position. Another tackle for loss there. Oklahoma City's run defense has started to check itself into the game. That's Aaron Gooden with that.
And that's a great play, but it's what the defensive line, Kilgore and Dune, was able to hold up those guards to be able to have the linebacker shoot the gap and make a big tackle.
Your 3rd down and long after the first one was 3rd down and half a yard. And he will go straight away. The Oklahoma City defense, 3 straight plays for a loss. Trellis Blanton is sacked for a loss of 10. And Sabo Cannon will be credited with the sack, and Oklahoma City will get off the field very quickly.
Absolutely textbook third down play here. You send pressure, and Cannon is having an all-star season. 7th sacks of the league for him so far, and it was wide open right there. It was too many people rushing and not enough blockers.
Jordan Bradshaw will punt back to, I would imagine, Dallas Sanders on punt returns. Fielded at the 40, no fair catch, so he's nailed straight away. And the Oklahoma City offense will trot out here for head coach, Brady Clark, King Jackson at quarterback, Richard Powers, and Tom Rahman, your two fullbacks. Christian Bossy-Galupi and Dallas Sanders, the wide receivers, and those 3 tight ends, Jonathan Kilgore, Tiberius Bovine, and Stephen McMichaels. Started an ace formation here. Rahman is the lead back. He'll get the carry and gets no gain on that one. Looked like he may have gotten a yard. They're not going to give it to him.
And Jacob, what we want to see for Oklahoma City is establishing the run game. It looks like they give it up really quickly, and that's why King Jackson has 349 attempts, which is first in the league.
Still in the ace twins to the side. It'll be Jackson's first pass attempt. It is in heavy traffic and incomplete. Trying to hit Bossy-Galupi for the first time this evening, and a tricky 3rd down and long now for the Renegades after 2 no-gain plays.
3rd and long here, so Denver knows that they can have more people in coverage because they have to pass the football.
In quads, doesn't appear they will send any additional pressure of yet. Drop back, Denver sends 4. Jackson has time to throw, looking for one of the tight ends in a sea of blue jerseys there. It was Tiberius Bovine, the intended target. No catch, and both teams exchange 3 and outs to start the game.
Yeah, and good job right there picking up the stunt Oklahoma City did from Denver. They just sent 4-man pressure, had time, just missed the target right there.
Punt will fall away, fielded at the 20, so Denver will basically start this drive where they started the first. They're at the 27, so Trellis Blanton gets another shot at it. Again, good start to the drive, then they went to the air, and 2 straight tackles were lost by those 2 marquee linebackers for Oklahoma City, and then a sack on Blanton to end the drive was a rather sour result in what otherwise looked to be a good start for the Nightwings. They're looking to continue that work on the ground here with this possession. O'Shaughnessy the lead back, 3 receivers for Blanton to throw to, but he will hand it off. Cannon got the early pressure again. Gooden was shrugged off, and there's plenty of room for O'Shaughnessy on the outside, and he will get a first down, give him some change for a 12-yard run.
And Cannon was not blocked, so that's a one-on-one situation, and that's what O'Shaughnessy lives for. Nice stiff arm, and then able to bounce it outside to get the first down right there. Great run by the running back.
It's going to be a tall task today for those 2 linebackers. They've shown up early, but again, we know what these 2 backs are capable of. Jeremy Mosley, of course, a former wide receiver in his own right. First season in the backfield has been a productive one. He's in there now. Handoff got behind Mills. He's dropped at the line of scrimmage. Good response from OKC. Getting in there again was Cannon. No gain.
And overall, in the beginning of here, and this is only the 2nd drive, Jacob, but they're doing a good job. That's Oklahoma City on the defensive front, containing the running game to make sure they don't bust those big plays.
Into the spread they go. Blanton is troubled and sacked for a loss of 3. That's the 2nd time that man has gotten in the backfield there in Sabo Cannon. 2 plays back-to-back for Sabo, and again, Denver in a tricky 3rd down and long.
Another same blitz formation as the first drive right there. Send an outside linebacker and somebody shooting the 1 gap there, and they get there in time. It doesn't give Denver time to throw the football.
Formation, Blanton this time will have time to throw. He got it at through an OKC pair of hands, and inside the 20 goes the receiver trying to push all his way down is Jay Viper. He's inside the 5.
Wow, and once again, they get good pressure You have to be careful. If you're the only one back in the line of defense, knock the ball down, make the tackle. You cannot go for the interception right there because that's where the trouble is. That was a good pass. What a way. Good job by the receiver. Keeping focus on the ball to make the catch.
Huge momentum swing as the OKC defense look to be on top of the game. Blanton produces and Viper has them inside goal to go territory. They need 7 for a major score. Blanton's going to throw again. He's pressured and he's gone again. Third sack in 5 minutes for this Oklahoma City front. And they continue to go backwards.
Yeah, and they continue to call this overload blitz. So I absolutely love it. If you're going to sit there and only block 5 people, I'm going to send 7. I'm going to make it hard for you to do those 3 to 5 step drops to get the ball out of your hand.
Greg Ellis, the backup defensive end, getting in there. Blanton to throw. He's got a wide open receiver. That's a Denver touchdown. First one on the board for Michael Goodman.
Now, here's the thing. When you do these high pressure overload blitz, it's one-on-one coverage. That's a man coverage, one deep safety. They shade it to the outside, so that's easy. Call a slant route like you did right there, and you get inside of that DB for a touchdown. What a way to respond after getting sacked 2 times on that drive alone.
Puts Goodman over 400 yards on his rookie campaign. His 5th touchdown. He leads the team in that department. Charles Blanton continues to be a strong candidate in that quarterback race for the MVP award this season. And he's got his team on the board here early. 7 points to nothing after 6.5 minutes.
And that's such a really good drive if you think about it, Jacob, because they were pushed back with those sacks, but they still had 2 big plays that gave you the score.
It will be returned this time up past the 20. Got plenty of room. We'll get this close to the 30, and it's spot on the 30-yard line. So OKC will have their second possession here with reasonable field position. Again, it didn't quite get started there with that quick 3 and out, but we know that this team can sling the football. The marquee wide receiver, Bossy Galupi, along with those 3 tight ends. Plenty of talent to seek for King Jackson. He's going to motion Tiberius Bovine to the outside. And straight up the middle to Tom Rahman, who is lit up after a gain of 2.
Hey, and there it is. Chuck Diesel right there. Their big stud linebacker right over the middle, able to make a play before anything can happen.
Second season with the Nightwings, 12th in the league. Lead inside linebacker for this Nightwings defense. Dropped back by Jackson, under pressure, has to do something. He waited too long, and he'll be sacked for a significant loss of about 5 there as Logan Gardner gets into the backfield.
And I call this a cover sack. I know we're in a league now, Jacob, that everybody wants the big play, the 20 to 30 to 40-yard passes, but here's the thing, that takes time. And if it's not open right there, it was just a 4-person drop, a 4-person rush, and they're able to get to the quarterback.
4 sacks in the opening quarter, 3 on Blanton, now 1 on Jackson. And it's a long 3rd and 13 here for King Jackson. Drops back, has time this time. He's dropping back, still going backwards, and eventually claimed in the backfield by Hugo Reynosa.
Another all-star watching right there. I love it. Rip move, rip over that offensive lineman. And I love the extra effort to dive to get Jackson down, because you know that Jackson has wheels to get out of the pocket. What a way to contain it. Back-to-back sacks. This is a sack-happy first quarter right here.
Forced for OKC, it means it's a second straight punt to start the game. It'll be fielded past the 40, so excellent field position here for the Nightwings. There could be more on the return. Still trying to get free. And eventually fielded inside territory there. Oh, okay, see territory there is Logan Keel.
Great return right there. We're able to box outside. You see the blocker set up. Nobody was blocking in the back. And just getting yourself on great field position to go in for another score.
Was in the All-Star game last season. Logan Keel, 13th season with the Nightwings, and he's got his unit here inside OKC territory to start this third possession. Last drive ended with a 10-yard receiving touchdown for Michael Goodman. Struck back by Blanton. He's got the hot hand at the moment. That's a really good catch in between a pair of OKC defenders there. Goodman starting to heat up this afternoon.
Oh, I love that throw. What a way to drive off that back foot. That's just a slant route right over that defender there. And what a way to reach out and bring the ball in. I like that throw. You knew where you were throwing it, and you put a lot of zip on that pass.
Blanton's recovered from those early woes in the game. He's now on the bunch, hand off to the outside. O'Shaughnessy, this is where he's dangerous. He's running. Good and missed him, and it'll be a pickup of 5.
Absolutely trucked that first defender there. That's why this offense is so dangerous, because if you can get the pass game going, the box is going to be a lot lighter, and you can run that football.
Mosley in the backfield for his 4th carry, you would imagine. Hand off to the right-hand side. He's got room, and he's shut down injury on the play here. And Greg Ellis, who had that sack earlier for OKC, has gone down.
Yeah, and we just hope everything is okay. You definitely want all your star players to be in the game.
Speaking very experienced there. Ant? Not going to divulge too far into the earlier block tonight here. The less said about it, the better. Denver now with a 3rd and 1. Goal line eye against an OKC 4-3. Hand off to O'Shaughnessy. Got through the traffic, first down.
What a tough run. I love the patience. But you can do that when you're running 2 to 3 yards a down. 3rd down and 2, you can do a lot of stuff. You can pass it, you can run it. That's because your earlier downs, you're getting good yardage.
17 away now from their 2nd score of the game. 2 receives up the top. It's going to go to them. Goodman, who has held onto it.
Okay, they're making that catch look really easy. And I'm going to tell you, chat, that's not an easy catch because you're extending your arm in traffic right there. They had a safety over the top, but it doesn't matter because that's just sure hands and another first down, setting up 1st and goal.
There's really not much Brady Clark can do there in that situation. He's laid the hit, and Goodman held on to it, and he's now got 3 catches, but it projects to be a rushing attempt here on the 1st and goal. O'Shaughnessy got through Doom, and it'll be a touchdown for Bailey O'Shaughnessy, 2nd score of the quarter for Denver.
And it all started by the punt return to get into positive field position for Denver, and then they came in, and this is the offense we've been seeing all season. They ran the ball effectively. They was able to spread the ball out, and it was just a simple push by that fantastic offensive line that gets you 6 points.
The Renegades are in early trouble here on home field. Jordan Bradshaw's extra point splits the uprights. Denver up 14 points to nothing here on the road.
Now we got to see some out of Oklahoma City. This is 2 drives that ended pretty quickly. You know, you see the total yards, minus 13 yards. You have to put something together, but not give up on like the running game because it makes you very predictable.
The run on the return gets it up to the 35, so good starting field position for OKC. I'm sure Eddie Gage and Ron Haynes in the stat struggle, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe OKC have had a positive play yet. It's all gone backwards, or at least been trapped at the line of scrimmage on the 2 Tom Rahman runs. He is credited with 2 yards on the ground, so I suppose that statement's inaccurate, but it certainly felt like that's the case. More so, King Jackson's yet to complete a pass. He's 0 for 2 and has taken 2 sacks so far in the game. Drops back. He's got time this time. Threads the needle. Good call there, and it's going to be a 1st down for Tiberius Bovine.
And all it starts is with a positive yard play right there. Give it to you. Your big man across the middle was able to get off that linebacker. Great throw and catch.
The Renegades up at halfway here. So short field position here now. All of a sudden, they try and get their first score of the game. Borsi Galupi will be moved to create a more conventional ace formation. Drop back by Jackson. Has time. Throws across. That's caught. Give them 9. Back catches for a tight end. This time it's Stephen McMichaels.
You have a all-world, all-pro tight end in Stephen McMichaels right there. Why not give him the ball and let him do work?
61 catches on the season for over 600 yards. He's been the top target for King Jackson in his sophomore campaign for this unit. Handoff on the outside, Tom Rahman, first down. That's his best run of the afternoon.
And you see, when you do these great high percentage completions, what does it opens up? The running game.
A quarter down here at OKC. Denver leads this one 14 points to nothing. I'm Jacob Clint. It's Anthony Ellison in co-commentary. Eddie Gage and Ryan Haynes doing the numbers for us tonight. Commissioner Cameron Irvine producing, as always, for the Virtual Football Network. You're watching the Simulation Football League here on the VFN on YouTube. Dropped back by King Jackson. He was swarmed. He's thrown it to a blue jumper. Not what KJ wanted there on that occasion. And Denver are going to take the football back after an otherwise inspiring Denver OKC drive on offense is going to end short there as Jimmy Hatsis takes it away.
Yeah, I'm going to chalk it up as that was the pressure that got to Jackson, because that throw was really rough to look at. That was right at the defender there, and that's a big stop and a blow for Oklahoma City.
And it means that the Nightwings offense will go back out there again, 30 yards away from their own goal line. Unfortunate for Jackson, he completed 2 passes on that drive out of 2 and then threw it to the wrong team on that occasion. Deep throw by Trellis Blanton. That is stuck to the mitts there of his intended receiver, Mike Kleinecht, with his first of the afternoon.
Yeah, getting the tight end involved too. It's a dangerous route. You know that you're gonna get hit. And he did. He took a big hit, but was able to get up, first down.
He's getting close to 300 yards in his rookie campaign here with Denver. Hand off to Mosley, who's broken past Gooden, and will be a first down there up past the 40.
And what a push by your offensive line there. I love those ISO runs. You run right behind the center and the guard, and you see the Oklahoma defenders just start falling, getting pancaked, and it's just a simple run up the middle.
Suddenly now stepping inside OKC territory. Hand off at the middle to O'Shaughnessy. Again, they didn't have the line on him, and O'Shaughnessy's inside the 20, pushed out of bounds there after a significant chunk of yardage. This ground game starting to get settled in.
And look, you're running behind Benazzi, Cool, Martin, and De Jesus, and they know the assignment. They were embarrassed on the first 2 drives, giving up those sacks. They said, hey, let us run forward and let us knock Oklahoma City on their butts, and that's what they're doing on this drive. It's a complete domination.
Chassis now cool, 8 for 51, including that rushing touchdown on their previous possession. Mosley checks back in. Again, the blocking's pristine. What a pickup at the ankles there by one of the OKC defenders, is going back the other way. A fumble recovery for the Renegades. Huge result.
And they needed that, because even that play alone looks like it was going to go for big yardage. And I love it. Good job. That's number 56, I think that's the linebacker, that poked the ball free. And what a way to get down some yardage. This is exactly what you need, OKC.
Fumble was picked up by Fred Thomas, backup corner. Again, they're only playing 1 contract corner, so they really need some additional support on the defensive side of the ball, but they've gotten a huge result. Toss play the outside. Rahman caught in the backfield. He couldn't get past the second wave of pressure. Loss of 2.
And you don't want to go backwards here. You got your turnover. You got the momentum that you need. You have to start looking north to south instead of east to west on these run plays.
Back into an ace formation. Jackson's going to throw. It is intercepted. Somehow plucked from behind, and it's going to go back for 6 points. Denver got their 3rd score of the game, and John Martin's going to bring it in with style.
Oh yeah, little showboat right there, and that is another pass that Jackson wants to bring back. It is if you're doing a drag route, you throw it ahead of your receiver, not behind, and that's right there. Simple pick 6 here, great blocking, and a touchdown for Denver.
It's frustrating. They got the turnover of their own a couple of plays ago, and then a toss play that really didn't quite hit the mark, and then a back-to-back throw for King Jackson. And Denver have their 3rd score of the game. Credit to John Martin. He's been terrific for this outfit these 3 seasons. Was an all-star last season. That's his 3rd all-star appearance in 8 total seasons in his career. One of the best linebackers in the SFL. It's an interception return for 6 points here, and Denver leads this by 3 scores after 12 minutes of scrimmage. Oklahoma City almost find themselves now playing for pride, given the scoreline that's already transpired for us.
Yeah, you're playing for to say, hey, we can do it, and not to lay over. We've seen some of these games by OKC. They can fight, but it's when they give up is the problem.
Back into the ace, and we've seen a toss play quite commonly out of this look. This time Jackson will throw. Throws to the top. It's caught by McMichaels. And up past the 40 goes Steven. And that's a better result for King Jackson.
And, there's your frustration as a fan. You know that King Jackson can throw a pretty ball. It's just like there. You set your feet, and then you deliver it straight to your target.
"46 yards now away from their own goal line. After that 27-yard reception to Stephen McMichaels. Jackson now back to the toss. It's Powers with his first carry. And a 2-yard gain. Denver are reading that play perfectly so far tonight. Let's introduce the Nightwings defense for defensive coordinator Jimmy Hatsis, Gerald Cumbus, Hugo Reynoso, Logan Gardner, and Joseph Sabolka on the defensive line. Chuck Diesel, Luis Quintana, and John Martin with Jimmy Burgett. The linebackers, the secondary, Jimmy Hatsis, Luke Schreiner, Stephen Goodman, Ted Haynes, Parker Thomas, Lucas DeVore, Blake Prine, and Tank Bennett. Oh boy, okay, so they've turned it over again. This will be 6 points back-to-back for Denver's defense. It's all unfolding here. Second turnover for Jimmy Hatsis. This one's got points attached.
Yikes. That's all I can really say right there. It's a spin move, and then that second person came in and just poked the ball free, and you work on the fumble drills in practice. What a way to scoop it and score for another back-to-back turnover touchdowns for the Denver defense.
Season 21's offensive rookie of the season, Luis Quintana, who forced that one, and the rookie Jimmy Hatsis with a fumble recovery for 6, and all of a sudden this is getting very, very out of hand.
Ooh.
Again, we knew Denver were going to be a tall task for the Renegades tonight. They're in red-hot form. On 4 of their last 5, they knocked off Minnesota in a thrilling Monday night spectacular a week ago. And with the short turnaround, really, they've bounced back brilliantly so far. This will be a decent return up past the 30 to the 40. The 42 is where that returner will step out of bounds. And OKC now with back-to-back turnovers will need to try and generate something on offense.
Starts with a good kick return right here. Just on offense, that fumble can happen. Obviously, you saw it happen to Denver. You gotta make sure you're high and tight and you secure and protect that football. But you need to see positive yardage. Right now, Jacob, we're just focusing on them getting 2-3 yard gains, something positive.
Again, the field position is premium for King Jackson and company. Toss play. This time, Rahman's got room. And he'll get the first down and some. Call it a 15-yard run for Tom Rahman.
And yeah, and maybe that's something that will get the sideline going there. Just a sweep to the outside. You saw number 75 pull out there. And it looks like it was going to be short of a first down, but broke the tackle and stayed in bounds for a first down.
Just way to respond from the fumble that ended their last drive. Powers now the back, but Jackson will throw. Oh boy, he had no time at all. The pocket totally collapsed in on him, and Chuck Diesel has another plate on his belt.
Yeah, been very active today, you know, with the sack and making those tackles. That's just a mid blitz, and the offensive line didn't make the adjustments to slide over their protection and just brought them down for a sack.
Back into the triple formation here. They're now back at halfway after they encroached inside Denver territory. And stack triple receivers down the bottom. Jackson is going to run for it. He will get a yard back, if that. 3rd and 15 upcoming.
And I like it. Doing something different, stepping up in the pocket, looking to run. But Denver had a spy on. Denver knows that Jackson can run the football. Not going to let him break loose there. Sound defense.
Into a quads look here. Jackson to drop back. This time he'll run again. It'll be only a yard on the reply. Nothing happening downfield for him, and we'll punt this one away.
And Luis Cantina right there playing the spy. Got a fumble already today with a nice tackle there. You know, he wanted to run it, but he was able to break down and make a good open field tackle.
It's been punted. And Denver's offense has not been on the field in a while.
Now you don't have to when you got a stout defense.
Well, exactly. I mean, their last 2 scores have come from their defense. They've only had, of the 4, 2 have come from the offense. Of course, Bailey O'Shaughnessy had the second one, if you're just joining us, and Michael Goodman had his 5th receiving touchdown on their second possession. It's all Nightwings here at Renegade Nation Stadium. Triple formation, 3 receivers. The tight end Kleinak will move across. He's had 1 catch so far this afternoon. And off outside, broke a tackle O'Shaughnessy and took Gooden for a ride there. It'll be a 6-yard pickup.
And, you know, just to give some type of credit for OKC, they have been doing a decent job with the running attack there. They set themselves up to make good plays. They just have a little mistake here and there.
Into a Jack's look. Mosley trying to get room. He won't get it. It'll be a gain of 1. Bit of response from the OKC Phantom there as Sabo Cannon shuts that one down. It'll be a 3rd down and short opportunity for OKC's defense to get a response here.
You want to get a 4th down here. You want to try to get some type of points going to the halftime to talk about it.
And off O'Shaughnessy, stiff arm. Not much you can do about that.
Nope, not much you can do at all. It's really tough. That run has been their bread butter. Just running right behind R.E. Mills. That's your stout fullback that's just blocking everyone in his way.
Punch to the top. Motion one of those receivers down now into a slot. And off the outside. Mosley with room. Shut down though. These two linebackers have been all over the field so far. Aaron Gooden. Make sure that's nothing more than a 4-yard gain.
Another good run to the left side. And you know, if y'all pay attention, look at the receivers and the outside blockers holding and containing the blocks all the way.
And off to O'Shaughnessy. Room for him to move again. And he's got them up at halfway.
If they can't stop it, there's no point of doing anything else. So at the end of the day, you run behind Mills, cut back inside because they over pursue, another first down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, you're going to keep interchanging the two backs, but you can't really see Blanton going to the air here. The way this game is tracking. Laid off the outside. Broken tackle by Mosley. He'll be shut down in the backfield that time. Response.
Yeah, good play by number 42, Thomas Rahman Jr., the cornerback there, making a play in the backfield.
They don't have a corner on the bottom of the screen. The only one contracted to the roster is playing up the top there in Rahman. He was the one that made the play. Throw by Blanton outside, caught by Kleinek, stiff arm, and he got the first down.
And quite a throw, throwing a out route to the far side of the field. Takes a lot of zip, love the accuracy, and was able to let him run up the field. Didn't get out of bounds, wanted contact, once all the smoke for another first down for Denver.
He stayed in bounds, so the clock will keep running here to the 2-minute warning here. Denver up by 28 points to nothing here on the road. Looking for that 7th win of the campaign. Okay, see a playing for pride here and hopefully some positives to take into next season. Hand off to O'Shaughnessy. That'll be a gain of 6 there out of the break inside 2 minutes. And we're trying to chase a 5th score of the quarter.
And we only seen one pass this drive, and that's absolutely fine because you are running the ball so effectively, inside, outside, everyone.
Mills is going to get a carry for his earlier good work, and he'll get a first down as a result.
You know, your fullback Mills, he averages 3.8 yards a carry, so he's already coming in today. Denver is 10th in the league in rushing with 115 yards. Jacob, something telling me that they're going to surpass that if they didn't already in this first half alone.
And the clock ticking down. They're still going to go to the ground that time. OKC do get a result, and I'll call a timeout afterwards.
And, you know, OKC, they're going to keep fighting. That's what you're supposed to do. If you're a football team, doesn't matter how the beginning goes, anything can happen in these games.
To be a loss of 1 on that Mosley carry. You're going to motion Kleinek across to the other side of the line. Drop back by Blanton. Quick throw. Caught. Got it over a pair of OKC defenders. Boy, they had to make a play on that. And it ends up being a Denver first down.
And that's the difference between a first down and a turnover. If you just turn your head to the ball, even if you just get your hands up to knock it down, that's a big difference.
Again in the triple, they've been passing out of this today. Blanton potentially going for the killer blow here to end the half. He's going to throw it end zone. Kleinek's got it at the goal line. And Denver have got 5 scores and a half of football. They lead by 35 points to nothing.
When you run the ball so effectively, you can lower your defense to sleep. And that's what happened. They didn't expect that play. And what a pass, knowing that you have trust in your receivers to make a throw over the middle where the linebacker is draped over him and the safety is coming down to make a hit, and you deliver a strike for another touchdown.
It's been a good rookie campaign for Mike Kleinek. His 25th catch over 300 yards and his second career receiving touchdown. And OKC are distraught. This game is far beyond their reach now, you would imagine, with a minute left in the opening term. Denver get to make a statement here with 2 weeks left in the season beyond this week. Okay, so with a minute to try and get a score on the ball before the half is out.
Yeah, and Denver here, it hasn't, OKC, it hasn't been working on all sides of the balls. When they had the 2 positive pass plays, it was to their tight end, Stephen McMichaels, and it was something towards the outside.
Twins to the top here, hand off to Rahman, plenty of room for him to run into, gets 8 on that carry.
And that's a good run there. Run weak side. It's a quick hit. You get 8 yards there, and I love the lane, just shoulder down to try to get some more yards.
Yeah, they've seemed to have moved away from the single back toss that was hurting them earlier, and they've been better on the ground. Touch wood. 2nd and 2, they're going to hand it off to Powers on the outside. He couldn't quite get the angle. It'll be a shutdown after a gain of 1 by Tank Bennett.
And look at that hit from that strong safety. That's exactly what you want out of your safety there. Play in the box and deliver a big, solid hit.
Last play of the half here. And off straight in the middle to Rahman. He's got room up past the 40. Tom Rahman breaks a tackle. Up again to the other 40, and that'll end the half. A good result for Tom Rahman. They got a timeout there. Don't know how that was pulled out by Brady Clark. The best play on offense from Oklahoma City comes with the second last one of the half.
It's better late than never there, but what a way to spam the timeout to try to get one last play before the half.
He got there in the end. Jackson can throw a Hail Mary. He got it away. It is caught by... Wow. Well, they got back-to-back plays there. The time will expire. He did hit Bossy Galuppi there inside the 10. But all for nothing.
Yeah, it's not going to be nice in the stat sheets, but you know what? Go in the locker room and say, hey, there's 2 plays, a pass play and a run play that gave us some type of light.
Mid half time here, and obviously a very dominant performance thus far by Denver. Any takeaways from that half we just watched?
What we're seeing from Denver is a playoff team. And the reason why I say that, Jacob, is because if you can run the football late in the season when everybody is banged up and bruised up there, and then you can play defense that can give you takeovers after takeovers, that's something that you see playoff football and those playoff teams do. And that's what we saw all in this first half. In OKC, you're trying to find something to hang your head on so you can go into the next game. And I think we saw in that last drive.
Plan's been perfect through the air, 8 for 8 for 160 odd yards and those 2 passing touchdowns. One of them found Kleinecht and the other found Michael Goodman. And Denver, as a result, at the beginning of the second half, lead this one 35 points to nothing here at Renegade Nation Stadium. But the fans are still here. We're still here. Don't touch the dial. We'll see what OKC can deliver in this second half. I'm Joe Clear. That's Anthony Ellison, Eddie Gage, and Ron Haynes doing the numbers for us this evening. You're watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. OKC with opening honours here to start the half. Interesting stat, Ant. Tom Rahman's best carry of the season prior to that second last play of the half was 8 yards. That run was worth 34, so he's obliterated that record there on that carry. So improvements for the running back one here for the Renegades. Jackson's going to start the half through the air. He zipped that one over the head of his intended target, Stephen McMichaels.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness on the play call there. You want to zip the ball and try to get it down the field. Just a little airmail.
Into the ace formation here. Rahman in the backfield. Another throw for Jackson. He swarmed, got it away, caught, and Bovine nearly broke the final defender, but he'll be trapped at the 45.
With 47 catches coming into today, that one right there almost took it to the house. And you saw the defender jump the route, but was able to recover to make a play.
A near turbulent start to the half there for King Jackson. He'll throw here. Dangerous throw. Hits McMichaels for a gain of nothing. But boy, that could have been the third turnover for 6 of the game for Denver.
And you don't want to do a jump pass to the far side of the field, an out route. There, you're lucky the cornerback didn't jump it.
McMichaels did well there in that scenario. Dropped back again by Jackson. He will run it himself. Tried to get a block downfield, but number 44 didn't land, and it'll be a gain of 6. That was Kilgore there downfield.
And that makes Jackson very dangerous there with his feet.
Still in the ace formation against Denver sent extra pressure. But Jackson deals with it well, and that curl route on the outside for Kilgore was on all day, and he's got the first down.
And I'll be honest, I don't know why they're playing 7 to 10 yards off. They haven't shown that they can do a big play down the field. So that's an easy button hook and just show the numbers to get past the first down markers.
Jackson started the half well here, not to jinx him. They're inside Denver territory. It's been a while since we've been able to say that. 2 tight ends again. This time Rahman's going to run. Got away from the early pressure, but couldn't get a gain there on that play.
It was like a rubber man. Like he bounced off the line and just went to the outside. But good job by Denver recognizing that play and going for a tackle.
John Martin's stringing together an impressive performance here today. Jackson again. Denver have been relentless with their pressure here. They've got 2 linebackers stacked to the strong side. It'll go to Rahman, who's blown up in the backfield by Reynosa.
We heard Reyno's name early in the first half, and just another big play there. You said the pressure is getting there, and then they forgot to block Reynos.
He too has been excellent so far. His second tackle for a loss. One of them was a sack on Jackson. Bossy Galupi will be moved in motion to make a triple stack down the bottom. Jackson will throw. He's going to look midfield. It's caught by Bovine inside the 20.
You have to have faith in your receiver to throw a pass that was blanketed by, 2 defenders? A great throw, but that's even a better catch to hold on to it.
Signs of life here out of the Renegades offense. They're not that far behind Denver as far as total yards is concerned against the turnovers that have killed them so far in this game. An opportunity to get a first score on the ball. It's the first time they've been in the red zone today. Borsigalupi moved across. It's a pass slot now at St. Ace formation. Toss play the outside. Rahman can't get forward progress there.
Yeah, and like you said, Jacob, they're not that far from the total yardage, but the biggest advantage is 14-0 off of turnovers. Denver was able to capitalize on the turnovers, unlike OKC's.
Drop back again by Jackson. He'll run, got room, lost it. There's plenty of blue jumpers there. They didn't get it.
I don't even know if that's a fumble. Like he slid and gave up.
It looked like the OKC guard got in there and dived on the ball. There must have been 5 Denver defenders. How they didn't come up with that, I will never know.
A good job by the offensive lineman not giving up on the play.
Unbelievable effort. Jackson's going to get another shot at it here. He throws towards the end zone. It's caught by Kilgore 2 yards away. Injury. Looks to be a defender on the Denver side of things. Joseph Sabolka's gone down.
Yeah, and let's just hope he's okay. But Jackson, that throw is what we know that he can do, and is set it up for a 1st and 2 on the 2-yard line to see if you can punch it in.
I imagine it'll be Tom Rahman's responsibility here. Plenty of run blocking support. Jackson's going to throw. Has time, throws outside, it's caught. Touchdown, Renegades. It's Christian Galupi.
And you love it. You want to see OKC do a complete drive because they haven't done it all day today. And that is what we saw here. And that's a tough throw. That's an out route right on the sideline there. What a way to keep 2 feet in. Finally, OKC gets on the board.
Dare I say it, if you take away the turnovers, it'd be 21-7 and just a totally different game script. So it could well be a 35-point breeze here in the second half, but some positive signs out of OKC. As that extra point makes it 35-7. Quick game update. The other game on this block here is not much closer. Mexico City, after that thrashing they copped last week, have responded in equal force against Lexington. They lead that one 35 points to 10. Looks like Lexington's season, like our Charleston Predators, appears to be over this evening as that East Division continues to be an absolute slugfest. The rotation remains here as Denver get possession back for the first time of the half.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the Central Division, it's also a 2-team race, but I mean, I would say 3 teams in Minnesota can get involved as well. But yeah, it's a slugfest. It'll go down to the last game.
This game certainly, so far, will help Denver's cause in cementing their spot as the Central title winners. Hand off to O'Shaughnessy, ran straight at Sabo Cannon. We had from the stat track highlighted earlier, those 2 linebackers have been on form today. They've combined for 15.5 tackles and a total of 6 for a loss between the 2 of them. In a 2nd and 6 here, it's Mosley. Can't get through the line of scrimmage there. He's shut down after a gain of 1. That's Gooden again.
And I know they only had 2 wins for the season, but OKC's 1 win came from a division. It was from Minnesota, and they're 1-0 in the division. They know how to play division rivalries. They're just having trouble today.
Got back by Blanton, throws off the back foot. It's over the top of the defender. Rahman Jr. was watching that one nonetheless, and it will fall away incomplete. And this team will benefit from some more squad depth in the off-season, you would imagine. Again, their defense is just so short on talent at the moment in various spots. They've got a lot of experience in the spots they do have covered, but they're the only team really that can't say that they've got a wealth of depth at various positions in their defense, such as the case for Denver. But some positive signs from this offense there. They went to the air, and it was very successful. Galupi ended up with the receiving touchdown, and they can go back to it again after a quick stop. Makes something of it here in the second half. Drop back by Jackson, has time, throws to the outside, it's caught by Bovine, give them 14 and a first down.
Yeah, and this is life. This is what everybody wants to see. We don't want to see a one-sided matchup. We know they can play football. We know that they can score points. We saw them score 37 points in the game before. So it's just about making good, high percentage throws.
Back into an ace twins formation. They're going to move Galupi across to the other side. He'll be picked up by Hatz, as that's been the matchup so far today. Drop back by Jackson, throws, caught. McMichaels give him 9 as he tries to force his way through. In fact, they're going to mark him 7 yards away from the line of scrimmage.
And it keeps the ball moving there. I like it. Not every pass needs to be deep. I love that. Just a 2-3 yard drag and let the receiver run up the field.
A slot formation. They're going to move Kilgore potentially into a slot position here. He's already had a catch on the afternoon so far. Hand off to Rahman, a great tackle from behind. He was destined for a first down there, but John Martin had other ideas.
Yeah, and that tackle prevented the first down because it looks like he was going to go for the first down here. Now it's a 3rd and 2. And I probably will see a pass, but I wouldn't mind Jackson running the football out of the pocket.
Short 2 yards required. Jackson's going to throw. Throws it across. It's caught by McMichael's. Got a stiff arm inside the 35.
And went back to that same play. Just a nice little in route. Beat the defender. First down here. This is a second drive in a row. We're seeing OKC making something of it.
Now 34 yards away from another score. Jackson's having a very good start to this third term. Toss play to the outside. Rahman ran straight into traffic, and he'll be shut down by Jimmy Burgett after a gain of 1.
And Denver's been doing really well on those toss plays in the outside. You gotta look to do something more of the middle.
Can we have a run for Rahman tonight? It seems to have worked. It's just that the toss is just not developing for him. Or Sigalipi, the motion man again. Got back by Jackson. Pressured, gone.
Oh.
He took way too long there, King Jackson, to make a decision, and he's sacked in the backfield there by Logan Gardner, his third of the day.
And just a bully right there on that interior line. Was able to push off his alignment back and was able to get his second sack of the game.
Kicked out his second. Reynoso had the other one for Denver's defense. It's the fourth collectively as a unit. Go 4 wide here on third down and long. Can Jackson find a target? Throws across. There's defensive pass interference. And OKC will get out of that one with a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, you can't hit the receiver before the ball gets there. Looks like they got a little bit excited, seeing that they could have been potentially there. Yeah, you can't hold their arms down. You got to let them be free and wait for the ball to get there.
Jimmy Hattis had an awesome game with those 2 interceptions, but he'll be pinned for that penalty here. Clock stops with 90 seconds left in the third quarter. Kilgore swiped across. Again, he lines up in the slot. They're going to send him downfield. Throw. Oh, diving try. They're nearly intercepted there. Hattis nearly had a hat trick.
Yeah, because he also in the first half was able to scoop and score for a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. That was him, number 21. Almost jumped that route.
That's right, it was too. Just trying to remember if he had 2 interceptions. No, he had the fumble recovery was his other turnover. Drop back by Jackson. Has time. Throws outside again. It's through a pair of Denver hands. Looking for Bovine again. It is incomplete. Stephen Goodman got the hands to that one. That's his first pass deflection of the game.
Ooh, OKC caught a break back-to-back times.
Into the quads. They got out of this last time. And in a theoretical sense, Jackson's gone 3 straight without a completed pass. He'll drop back again, of course. Throws outside, and again, pass interference on the outside.
If you didn't hear me the first time, I'll say one more time. Let the ball get to the receiver. You can't tackle them before. That's an automatic first down. That's an easy call there.
Not quite what they had in mind there. Denver, and I guess he kept dropping forward, but again, it's 4 straight incompletions for King Jackson, and yet they've had 2 first downs. It's pretty miraculous how they're making of this. In the triple now, can Jackson complete something? Has plenty of time, throws inside, it is tipped up and incomplete. The defender ran away from the ball there. An opportunity for an interception there for Ted Haynes falls harmlessly away.
3 pass deflections this drive alone, and I appreciate the stats saying Denver's first 2 pass deflection of the game. The thing is, they're catching breaks. That's 3 interceptions that they knocked down. OKC is still moving the football.
Jackson's got an open man. It is incomplete. Great work to jar that one free. He's looking for Dallas Sanders, who's yet to have a catch in the game. He's the only receiver to do so.
And Jacob, what's also interesting is if you see the total yardage, you know, OKC can easily have more total yardage, but then you look at the score and it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's not quite adding up here. Denver again. They couldn't possibly give away pass interference again here. Jackson throws outside. Borsig Galupi, it's incomplete. He couldn't hang on.
Another pass deflection. It's so if they're not getting the pass deflection, they're getting pass interference. I guess that works out because now you're holding them to a field goal.
That's the 6th straight incompletion for King Jackson. This time, Denver gets their defense off the field due to Dorgan's field goal attempt from 34 away is successful. And OKC, after a scoreless first half, have 2 in the second.
But it's a back-to-back drive with some type of points, from having no points in the first half to 10. That's a big jump. That's something that you want to be happy about, because none of these points are always guaranteed. So good job by OKC getting some points on the board.
No return by Denver. So they've had 5 yards of offense in this second half. Again, the 2 OKC positions, of course, very lengthy in duration, but their 1 possession went nowhere. So what sort of response Trellis Blanton has here? He's only had 9 pass attempts in this game so far, 24 carries between the 2 backs. So Shaughnessy, that's his 15th. He's plugged and dropped behind the line of scrimmage there for a loss of 2.
And, you know, it's really cool you seeing, you know, life out of this OKC team. They're not just giving up. They're playing hard-nosed football all the way to the end.
Shinyonada, his first tackle of the game is a loss. Penultimate play of the half here. Blanton under pressure, zips it deep. It is incomplete.
See, and what a way to make a play right when it happens. That's a bang-bang play, one-on-one coverage. They've been throwing those post routes all day. That's more of a skinny post, like a slant that just broke off at the last minute. Was able to get a hand on it.
Into a quads look here for the 3rd down and long attempt. Blanton under pressure, got it. Threw it over the top of an OKC defender. Jay Viper's second catch of the game is worth a first down.
Went right back to it in the air. Like you said, threw it right over that defender and almost knocked it away. And right before number 43 was able to come and deliver a hit, first down.
It's been the last play of the 3rd quarter here. Triple formation, single tight end to the left-hand side. And off to O'Shaughnessy, got past 1 tackler. Brady Clark has to hang on. It's a first down for BO, and it will be a 3rd quarter interval. It was looking likely to be a 3-yard offensive performance for Denver in the 3rd quarter, but they've made something of it here late in the term. But OKC led that quarter 10 points to nothing, and as a result, it is 35-10 here at 3/4 time. Final quarter here at Renegade Nation Stadium, Denver football here. I'm Jacob Clear, that's Anthony Ellison, Eddie Gage and Ron Haynes doing the stats work for us this evening. Commissioner Cameron over, I'm producing as always for the Virtual Football Network. Here you're watching the Simulation Football League. Week 14 of Season 25 continues here on the VFN. A carry for O'Shaughnessy gets 3.
Now we're here in the 4th quarter now. And I like to see more offense out of OKC. Denver here just wants to not cruise, but just, you know, you can run the football and kill the clock.
And after Mosley was whacked by Brady Clark short of the line to gain. Give him 5.
And today you've seen a lot more plays out of your linebacking core for OKC, which is really good because going in today, you know, you had Rahman and Clark, which was leading your team in tackles, and those are your safeties.
Keeps the pressure up front for the Renegades here on this 3rd down run. It'll be O'Shaughnessy, plenty of room. Breaks it, shut down by Gooden there. It's deep inside OKC territory. Denver starting to get back to what was working in the second term.
That's exactly what I was about to say, Jacob. They're running the football up the middle. Good job bouncing it to the outside. And this is what's got them 35 points in the first half just by running the football really strong and effectively.
O'Shaughnessy over the century mark in terms of rushing yards. 18 attempts it took him to get to that point. He's got a major score, along with a longest run of 24 so far in this game. That second half part, total yards of offense looking a little bit healthier now. Mosley run shut down after 3. Second and 7. They'll spread the receivers out here. Drop back by Blanton. Throws across. It's caught. First down inside the red zone. Spotted for the first time today is Dylan Lewis.
And they're still passing the football. And, you know, this is just them not taking their foot off the gas here. Cover 2 shell. Throw right behind that flat route. Right in front of the safety. Good first down here. Now I expect them to give the ball back on the ground.
Pretty impressive for Denver, and always love to see this. It means that every offensive player now has touched the ball. O'Shaughnessy with a carry, oh boy. Linebacker got absolutely eaten there. It was Aaron Gooden who copped one. It's still only a gain of 3.
And like I said, that average of 115 yards a game is definitely going to go up. You're probably going to see them go up in rankings and rushing because they are running the football with mean intentions.
3 receivers. And off to Mosley. Is jammed up there by Saber Cannon. After a gain of 4, they're going to give him a 3rd down and short. Another opportunity for the Renegades to get a stop here. To the bottom. Pressure sent. There'll be a throw, and Blanton's got it inside the 2. It's Dylan Lewis with another catch.
And while we're talking about the red zone here, Jacob, they're sitting 3rd in the league with over 4.3 touchdowns a game in the red zone here. And you're about to see this could be another one here. Good job stopping them before the touchdown. But this is 1st and goal, and you know we're going to see. We're going to see a dose of Mills behind a running back, so leading the way up.
O'Shaughnessy has 1 already today, and he's not going to get the 2nd on that play. Nailed at the line of scrimmage. Shinya Nader made the tackle. He's come up 2nd best.
Yeah, after making the tackle there, got injured. You want to see your players come back in to finish the game.
It's his 2nd tackle, really. And that one probably won't be credited as tackle for loss, but his 2nd really impressive effort on the run-stop column. And he won't be out there for this play here. Back into an eye jokers. Looks single receiver stacked to the top against Thomas Rahman Jr. They're going to motion that receiver down to the bottom. It's Mike Kleineck on the wide route. The handoff to O'Shaughnessy. Dragged down at the line of scrimmage. Didn't get it. Aaron Gooden. An opportunity here for the Renegades for an incentive.
Yeah, I think they're going to give the ball right back to O'Shaughnessy here to say, hey, follow right behind Mills, and they're going to stack the box here. So it's going to be collision on collision.
3rd attempt for Denver. Trying to get it. No! Someone on the Renegades defense is going to get money. It's Frank Doom with the stop.
Oh, I love this. This is exciting here, forcing them to a field goal there. What a goal line stop for OKC.
It'll be an effective chip shot here from Jordan Bradshaw as a result. So again, another positive to take from this game. It was a 16-play drive that gets stalled at the goal line. And again, just to highlight the second half, 5.5 left to go, and OKC effectively leads it 10 points to 3. Those tracking that at home.
And Jacob, that's so impressive, that goal line stop there, because you can easily just give up. You see the score, you're down, it's going to be tough to come back. But the fact is that this team keeps fighting. And you know what? That shows character, and that builds on your team working in the offseason, getting more players on your roster.
It's the top. Jackson's going to throw it across the middle. And McMichaels gets up to the 35.
Yeah, good run after the catch. When they had a good passing attack, when they do have a good one, it's this play right here. Just pass it up the field. See, in the first half, they were passing it behind the receiver, and that's where interceptions and stuff happen. But when you pass it and you lead the receiver up the field, stuff like that happens.
6 of 9 catches so far from McMichael, 72 yards for him on the afternoon. Jackson will drop back to throw again. It is caught, high pointed the ball. Brilliant catch by Bossy Galupi.
This is really good. Look at this good, clean pocket. Was able to stay there. Tough throw, right? You know, you're throwing it over the defender. And then you have the other one that was looking for an interception, was able to focus on the ball to keep the completion and a big first down.
It'll be straight through the hands of Lucas DeVore, who normally takes those away, but in the end, Bossy Galupi has his third catch, just shy of the half-century mark, including a receiving touchdown for their marquee man. He motioned across to the other side here on this next play, 45 yards away now from their third score. Jackson, pressure from behind, shook the sack off, throws it incomplete. It was in between two different Denver defenders, and no opportunity there on the ball for Tiberius Bovine.
And still passing the football there, breaking that tackle. Almost, Bovine has been catching some really tough ones today, and almost came down with that one.
Triple formation now. Denver send four. It is intercepted. Lucas DeVore wasn't going to come away with that one. It's John Martin again, and he's inside OKC's 40-yard line.
They've been playing with fire all throughout the day with the passes, and there have been a lot of good ones, and then some that you want to take back. That right there, just eyeing the quarterback. The quarterback didn't look off the receiver and was able to go up at a high point and take over the turnover there.
It's John Martin's third interception of the season. First, of course, the interception fixed sixth as well. He had that one earlier. And Denver can now officially ice this one away with 4 minutes left. They've got the football back and can go at them again. Aaron Good and Saban Khan have been relentless today.
And at the end of the day, Oklahoma City has put up some great yardage, 292 yards. That's nothing to be mad about there. That's really good yards. It just, Denver came up with big turnover after turnovers.
Joker's looking as they continue to attack on the ground. Fullback run for Ari Mills. That's a good chunky yardage here. Get third down and short. Very nearly full time. In fact, it is full time on the other side of the block. Mexico City got a very late score, and they beat Lexington 59 points to 20. It is an absolute drubbing there south of the border, and it's not quite to this extent here, but there's a similar storyline here for the Oklahoma City Renegades. So really, the gaps between teams so far in Week 14 have been more significant than one would have expected, but plenty of football still to go tomorrow. here on the Virtual Football Network. We'll talk through that in a moment. Run up the middle for O'Shaughnessy. First down and run. And Denver's rushing attack today has been exceptional.
Yeah, it's been really phenomenal on the ground game. They've been bouncing it off between O'Shaughnessy, Mosley, Mills has gotten 2 attempts and is over 5.5 yards. They kept it on the ground. They kept it really simple. Blanett was only able to throw 13 passes, and that's a key to victory.
Into a heavy jacks look here. Again, continuing to run the ball. Mills is going to get a 3rd carry. I'll give him a 2-yard pickup. That'll give us to the 2-minute warning. This one projecting to finish as it stands here at Renegade Nation Stadium. Not quite the dominant performance in the second half Denver were projecting to have. Again, this one was 35-0 at halftime. OKC have won the second half thus far, 10 points to 3. Such statistics are null and void here in the context of the game. Another run here for O'Shaughnessy. It'll be past Rahman at the back there, and the first time out called by the Renegades. So it'll be Denver's 8th win of the season. OKC's 8th loss of the campaign as well. They have had 2 wins this season, but it's not quite. I guess Denver's 9th win. Didn't quite catch that part of the research sheet, but it's one of the. It is. I'm just trying to check when the last time they had that many wins was. It would have been back in the Jeremy Vega coaching era. In fact, it was. I had that 11-1 season back in season 16. So it's their best record in 9 seasons of SFL football. Of course, they had the 7-5 campaign last season in their second season under Michael Goodman's tenureship, but they've added an extra 2 wins to the column. And off O'Shaughnessy is going to get another one. And Denver have fully iced this one away.
And Denver and O'Shaughnessy has ran for a outstanding 5.2 yards per carry. If you let that sink in, y'all, that means that every 2 times you touch the ball is a first down, and that's tipping your hat to the offensive line. If you're not getting hit or even touched until 5-6 yards down the field, your offensive line is clearing the way there, and that's just a stamp of dominance for this game.
Yeah, 45 points to 10. So again, I totally misread the research sheet. My eyes didn't deceive me. Denver are 6-3, so that 7th win equals their season 24 record with 2 games left to go. Next week they'll go back home and play the Florida Storm. Florida trying to keep Carolina off the pace of winning the East Division. They sit at 4-5. Then they'll have a road trip to the Washington Trident in the final week of the season. And 1 win between those 2 will cement their best record since season 16. As OKC gets a return up there. They've got 2 division games left to go. The Renegades, they'll take on the Chicago Warriors on the road, and then the Chicago Warriors back at home. Reason for that is we had a week pushed back to the back end of the season. So a bit odd there with the finished back-to-back games between those 2 sides, but it's how things roll here given the context of the season. But it's Oklahoma City's 8th loss of the campaign. King Jackson with 1:44 left to go to try and get something else on the board before this game is out. Give the home fans something to walk home with. Throw on the outside, that is incomplete, looking for Tiberius Bovine.
Yeah, so if you can split those Chicago games, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that will put you in 500 in the division at 2-2, and that's something that's good. Division wins they weigh heavier on your win-loss record.
Absolutely, money in the context of this league, winning your divisional games. There's some things to build on for OKC as they enter their 3rd season in the top flight again at is caught for a first down. The Renegades will call their second timeout.
And you said it earlier, Jacob, that this off season you're focusing on depth and talent. So you go into free agency, you're looking to bring in people. The draft is very important. You just want to bring in more high quality character players to add to your team.
And that's caught for a first down there. It's Tiberius Bovine, and McMichaels rather, and John Martin's gone down. It's been one of his best performances of the season, but he may not be able to finish it out on the field.
Yeah, and you don't want him to be hurt, and you may want to sit him out the rest of the game to focus on the playoffs.
Unless it'll be a first down after that Stephen McMichael's reception again. Look at the total yards. It's very much close. A total contradiction of the scoreline you're seeing there at the bottom of your screen. Throw by, it's over the top and incomplete. Now with 90 seconds to go. Plenty of football left in week 14. Worth noting, tomorrow afternoon kicks off as usual at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be with you again with Jesse Long to unpack Vancouver at Minnesota. Minnesota trying to chase their 5th win after that heartbreak on Monday night. DC looking for a 9th win, takes on Roger City on the road. Queen City at Sin City. Those teams 4-5 and 5-4 respectively. So some implications there on the rest of the season. Jackson throws up, and that one is incomplete, deflected away by Luke Schreiner. And in the late game in that one, Detroit trying to chase their 6th win. They will go up against our Los Angeles side trying to chase a 3rd win on the campaign. And the Monday Night Spectacular will be Washington traveling to Baltimore. Baltimore trying to prevent their first ever losing season in what appears to be their final season in the SFL. They sit at 3-6. Drop back by Jackson. It's plenty of room for Tom Rum, and he stayed in bounds and gets it up close to the 35. They'll go into no huddle here. A little over a minute left in the game here. Can they get one more score on the board here? The Renegades throws outside. That is incomplete. Trying to throw it to Bossy Galupi, but he couldn't hang on.
Yeah, I like that play. It was a nice little screen play, a little swing pass to the outside, and had the lineman run down the field. You know, seeing something different in the playbook for OKC is something nice.
Into a quads look here. Jackson drops back, throws. It is over the top. There was 2 defenders covering Bossy Galupi. Had no chance at that one. It's incomplete. And what the statement piece this game will be. Did Denver get another turnover? Do OKC get one last score on the board to make things a little bit more respectable? Drop back by Jackson. Zips it. It is tipped up and incomplete. Nearly the former there of that earlier question. Luke Schreiner with that deflection.
They were looking for a pick 6 there. Throw it into double coverage, and they both sat on that play. They're looking to seal the game here. That's the thing that's been trouble for Jackson today, is looking off defenders. He hasn't done that, and threw it to the defense a lot today.
4th down, he has to go for it here, King Jackson. Drop back throw by Jackson. It is incomplete. Denver will get the turnover on downs. And this one will end here 45 points to 10.
Sound defense all game long. And this is right here, a nice little seal it, knocking the ball away. Sometimes you can't get the interception, but just right there, they played really, really just great defense all along, forcing the turnovers, the fumbles, and everything.
So yeah, we'll just talk about that Central Division. It's really a 2-horse race between Denver and Chicago at the moment. Chicago Warriors sit at 5-5. Denver now moved to 7-3. So effectively, the Minnesota Legend and the Chicago Warriors need Denver to lose out if they're a chance of getting their way back into the division title stakes. So it's a huge win in the context of Denver's season. Of course, OKC sit at the foot of their division there. a crucially opportunity for the Renegades. They may not necessarily finish last, depending on how things go in those 2 games against the Warriors, but it's an uphill battle to try and get away from that mark here down the stretch.
Yeah, and they can, like I said, just winning one of them is going to mathematically eliminate Chicago from winning the division, so they still have something to play for.
It additionally means if they haven't already, it will mean that one more win for Denver will clinch a playoff spot. They're very close. But for now, it's a substantial win for the Denver Nightwings on the road. Oklahoma City, a better second half than they were in the opening term, but that 35-0 drubbing in the opening 2 quarters was too much to come back from. Anthony Elson, give me your thoughts on that game.
Dominance. Dominance from the start to the end, and that's what we saw in Denver. When you don't have to have your quarterback pass the ball a lot, I think he only threw the ball like 13, 14 times, and you just had a running game, and then your defense getting turnovers. You got 14 points off of turnovers, the pick 6 and the fumble return. Denver did not take this team lightly, and they are going to be a force to reckon with going forward.
It does it here for your final game of the Saturday evening slate here for Week 14 of the Simulation Football League's 25th season. For Jacob Clear, Anthony Elson in co-commentary this evening, Eddie Gage and Rod Haynes on stats. We'll see you tomorrow starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern for 4 more games here in Week 14 right here on the Virtual Football Network. This one ends at Renegade Nation Stadium, Denver Nightwings 45, OKC Renegades 10.